Mr. President, Your Excellencies, honored guests, it's time to officially begin the award ceremony of the 2022 Millennium Technology Prize. The Millennium Technology Prize is awarded every second year. It's a celebration of science, technology, sustainability, well-being, and innovation, and it began in 2004. The first winner was Sir Tim Berners-Lee. I guess you all know him. He is the innovator of the World Wide Web. The challenges of our time have no borders, but neither have the innovations to solve those challenges. Scientists around the world are constantly working towards a better future for us all. The Millennium Prize recognizes the technology achievements that are crucial in solving global challenges. All present and future winners have had the courage and curiosity to explore the world from new perspectives. And now, it's time to reveal the winner of the 2022 Millennium Technology Prize. To announce the winner, please welcome the chair of the Board of Technology Academy Finland, Professor Minna Palmroth.
Mr. President, Your Excellencies, dear friends. Serendipity, this is a word which means finding valuable things without planning to do so. It's based on the story of the three princes of Serendip who made discoveries by accident. My favorite story, containing a lot of serendipity, tells about possibly the most impactful scientific discovery made during the last 250 years, the discovery of electricity. In 1780s, in the University of Bologna, Italy, Professor Luigi Galvani was poking dead frogs. He noticed that sometimes the frogs miraculously twitched. He explained this phenomenon by animal electricity, the power that animated living organisms. His contemporary, Professor Alessandro Volta, disagreed. He explained the phenomenon by the presence of two different metals that generated electricity. This explanation was right and served the basis for batteries as we know them now. Some 40 years later, in 1820s in London, England, Professor Michael Faraday discovered the way in which electricity could be manufactured industrially. Faraday was effectively self-learned, son of blacksmith's apprentice. Despite of his background, he became one of England's greatest scientists of all times, discovering, for example, electromagnetic induction, which we nowadays enjoy in many of our kitchens. He also proved that there is no such thing as animal electricity. Only one single electricity exists, and the difference in the phenomena are due to changing values of quantity and intensity. The story of discovering electricity is a model example of how science works. There are observations and erroneous explanations. The right answer is found after a long time, a lot of work, and a lot of debate. For spectators, it may seem utterly nonsensical, poking dead frogs, for example. But for scientists, it's a quest of trials, errors, frustration, and the joy of finally finding out how things work. For us Finns, Faraday's background is also inspirational. The cornerstone of our education system is exactly that. Every single person counts in such a small country. Therefore, background should not matter. Basic science is an investment for a better future. Sometimes the risk of the investment is realized and we never see any return. Sometimes, like in the case of electricity, the return on investment is enormous. It takes courage to support basic science, especially in cases where the direct benefit is not self-evident. It takes grit, or sisu, as we say in Finland, to optimize and develop the fruits of basic research to commercially viable products. Sometimes it takes decades or even centuries. The Millennium Technology Prize is aimed to celebrate the amazing technological discoveries that change the world. The patron of the prize, our president, has given the prize on innovations such as the World Wide Web, enabling smart technologies, and next-generation DNA sequencing. These innovations ensure, for example, smartphones and quick vaccinations during times of pandemics. Why is she talking about electricity, you might wonder? Because it gives a context for today's celebration. Today, we are celebrating the next chapter written in the story of electricity. We are celebrating a person who has made his own definition for the concept of green transition. Dear friends, I am honored to announce the winner of the 2022 Millennium Technology Prize. The winning innovation has transformed the production of solar energy. The 2022 Millennium Technology Prize is given for the discovery and development of the passivated emitter and rear cell, or PERC, silicon solar cell technology. The winner is Scientia Professor Martin Green from the University of New South Wales in Sydney, Australia. My warmest congratulations. My warmest congratulations and admiration to you, Professor Martin Green.
Thank you, Professor Palmroth. Very exciting. Can't wait to hear more. The winner of the prize is selected by the Board of Technology Academy Finland based on the recommendations made by the International Selection Committee, a distinguished network of leading Finnish and international scientists and technologists. For more precise description of criteria behind this year's selection, I would kindly ask you to take the stage, the chair of the selection committee, Professor Päivi Törmä. Welcome.
Mr. President, Your Excellencies, honored guests. Professor Green, my warmest congratulations. The Millennium Technology Prize is awarded to an innovation that enhances people's quality of life or supports sustainable development. The PERC solar cell does both. It offers electricity to people who don't have another option or for whom other options are too expensive. And obviously, it is a major step in mitigating climate change. The PERC solar cell is net carbon negative, and importantly, it is commercially viable. Another criteria for the prize is that the innovation should continue to inspire further research. And again, the PERC cell does. Professor Green and many other researchers are vigorously trying to improve the efficiency of solar cells. But there is another aspect too. Many technologies that can mitigate climate change actually are very difficult to scale into huge volumes because they rely on scarce materials. Solar cells, electric cars, windmills use silver, lithium, or rare earth minerals. So research is needed to find abundant alternatives to such materials. Only after that can clean energy really truly overcome the fossil fuels. The last 3 years have been tough. Pandemic, war, energy crisis, climate change progressing faster than expected. Yet, I would like to say, like Shakespeare, sweet are the uses of adversity. I believe there can be something good coming out of this. Namely, in easy times, people like us in rich countries tend to focus on themselves. We worry about our own well-being, career, success, income. We count our likes and followers and citations and whatever is our gaming chip. Hard times, instead, bring us back to the basics. Food and energy, life and death, war and peace. Adversity can help us turn our attention away from ourselves to the world. We start to ask, how will the world actually survive all this? And what have I done to save human civilization and nature? You, Professor Green, have done a lot for that. And therefore, you are an inspiration to me and to many, many others. Thank you for that. And now, let's watch a nice video about the award-winning innovation.
I tended to do best at subjects that were difficult to understand, and you had to put in a bit of effort just to understand what the lecturer was talking about. And one of them was semiconductors. It takes as a fairly large barrier to understanding even the basics of the field. But as I grew a bit older, I was looking for something with a bit more social impact, and I realised that the expertise that I'd built up in microelectronics was really directly applicable to solar energy conversion using solar cells. To understand how a solar cell works, you first of all have to take Einstein's discovery that light, as well as being able to be regarded as a wave, you could also think of it as particles, particularly when the light interacted with solid matter. You can think of the sun as shooting little particles at you called photons. And the solar cell responds to each individual photon. So in it, the photons enter the solar cell material, and the energy that the photon has is given up in exciting electrons within the solar cell material itself into higher excited states where they're free to move through the silicon material. And then you design the solar cell so that it collects these electrons that are sort of released by the photons. So ideally you get each photon that strikes the solar cell that has sufficient energy, creating an electron in the electrical circuit that you connect between the top and the bottom of the cell. And in that way you convert the light into electrical current. I won a Commonwealth Scholarship to study in Canada at McMaster University, and my new thesis supervisor was showing me around the labs, and one of the other PhD students was measuring a device, and the professor who was showing me around said, and we put a black cloth over it because otherwise it responds to light like a solar cell. And I found that the devices being studied were really ideally suited for use as solar cells, and that started me in a direction that gave me a unique approach upon the field. My PhD thesis work proved very important to my subsequent career, in that the devices that I was working on for my PhD proved to provide another way of making a solar cell that hadn't really been fully explored before. NASA in the US had launched a program to try and improve silicon solar cell efficiency, mainly for their space cell program. And we were able to show that we were doing better than all the NASA contractors in terms of the voltage we could get out for a given amount of light being shone onto the cell. For that 25% efficient cell, we use what's called the PERC cell, P-E-R-C. That's an acronym that I personally invented along with the cell. We realized that the surfaces of the cells were very important, and that's the area where improvement could be made in earlier cell designs. So we paid a lot of attention to improving the surface properties of the cells, and the structures that I'd been working on for my PhD proved very effective for doing that. That passivated emitter and rear cell, or PERC cell, it's now taken the world by storm. The third big contribution we made was the students that we trained along the way. So I have now supervised 120 PhD students in my career, but many have gone on to do wonderful things within the industry. Yeah, I'd talk about the flapping of butterfly wings, because it's when you look at all the events that had to line up for the industry to evolve in the way it has, it was just serendipity upon serendipity that got us to where we are now. I think the pace of change is going to accelerate, but the world will, over the next coming decade or two, shift to solar energy and wind. So a huge transformation of historic significance underway at the moment.
Thank you, Professor Törmä, such an important reminder to all of us. And what an interesting video. Your Excellencies, honored guests, now it's time to present the award. I would call upon the President of the Republic, Mr. Sauli Niinistö, to present the award.
Esteemed Professor Martin Green, ladies and gentlemen, for the 10th time we are paying tribute through Millennium Technology Prize to global breakthrough innovations. Innovations which improve the quality of life on the planet. The earlier winners have shaken the world by technologies such as World Wide Web, LED lighting, STEM, cell research, open source software, and fast DNA sequencing. This year, the innovation of Professor Green joins this great line-up. Climate change is one of the interlocking challenges our planet is facing, but we can't lose sight of hope. There's still time to act. The world needs everybody's involvement. Scientific research gives the policymakers the facts on which decisions are based. The research community is global, and the contribution from all nationalities is needed to keep the planet in good shape and to improve the conditions of life. Climate change is linked with the energy transition, affecting people and industries all over the world. The traditional carbon-intensive energy technologies will gradually be replaced by renewable energy. This is already creating major geopolitical effects. Today we are celebrating the progress that has been made in one of the cornerstones of the transition, namely solar energy. Solar cells play a significant role in solving the climate crisis by reducing our dependence on fossil fuels. Professor Green, you have stated that a huge transformation of historic significance is underway. Indeed, humankind is at a crossroads, and you are helping us to choose our direction. One of the key criteria of the Millennium Technology Prize is accessibility. Professor Green's innovation of solar cells is a prime example of technology which can be used by people anywhere in the world, by the rich and the poor alike. Solar panels can be installed on modest rural houses in villages as well as in wealthy neighborhoods of big cities. Solar energy has become more affordable over the years. Ladies and gentlemen, today we celebrate the achievements in green energy so far. With these words, let me congratulate you, Professor Martin Green, on this prize and your research work, which enhance the well-being of this planet by combating climate change. So, Professor Green, please join me here on stage to receive your trophy.
Thank you, Mr. President and Professor Minna Palmeroth. We have a winner! Congratulations, Professor Martin Green. I believe the stage is yours.
Thank you. Mr. President, honoured guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is a great honour to accept this award, the 2022 Millennium Technology Prize. I am proud that my efforts and that of my team in accelerating the development and uptake of solar photovoltaics is already making impact in meeting the prize's objectives of benefiting the lives of millions of people worldwide, perhaps even billions in the not too distant future. I acknowledge the Finnish people, their president, the Technology Academy of Finland, and the other organisations involved in establishing and supporting this prestigious prize. My award is a reminder that the quest for reliable and sustainable energy is a global quest that is about maintaining the trajectory of human civilization on our shared planet. It is appropriate that this prize is a global one. Though we all see our world through the lens of nationalities, borders, and boundaries, we share an environment that knows no national border. So it is important that for all of us to act in concert to sustain the precious resource that we share. My message is a positive one, and that is that the time of solar has arrived, and this is good news for the world. But like most momentous change, this has been decades in the making. In my own life, I started work on solar research in the 1970s. Earlier, I had been interested in microelectronics, but was interested in something more challenging. So I started to apply my microelectronics knowledge to making a better solar cell. Good fortune shone on me early in my quest in the form of a NASA program to improve solar cell performance. NASA believed that improving the cell output voltage was the secret to getting this improved performance. We succeeded in getting high voltage where others had failed, and this provided the impetus for the wonderful journey I have been on since then at the University of New South Wales. We had primitive facilities back then, but by 1983 we had won our first world record for silicon solar cell performance. Over the 39 years since then, we were to hold the world record for 31 of those years, almost without interruption. During that time, we increased the performance of the cells by over 50%. The PERC cell, spelt P-E-R-C, we invented and pioneered over this period, last year accounted for over 90% of the world's silicon module production. More PERC modules have now been installed than all other solar generation in human history. The improved cell performance leading to PERC has been one of the main contributions to the massive change we've seen in the cost of solar over recent years. Our other major contribution has been the training of the scientists and engineers who spearheaded the solar manufacturing revolution in China and other low-cost Asian regions. The combined result is that the costs of a solar module fell by an almost unbelievable 95% over the 12-year period from 2008 to 2020. Once solar was interesting, but terribly expensive. Now it embodies the long-standing hope of a virtually endless renewable resource that is inexpensive and can help provide the answer to the critical environmental challenges facing our planet. Already, millions are benefiting, particularly in the poorer regions of the world lacking electricity supply. The World Bank estimates that over 420 million people now benefit from small solar systems, often just for lighting and mobile phone charging. Most uptake has been since 2013, when the reducing solar prices made these small systems affordable. In accepting this award, I do so reflecting on the thousands of researchers who have worked in the field over many years. I pay tribute to those at my university and elsewhere who have not only helped to make the PERC cell a reality, but have also brought it to commercialisation and driven it to such scale. I thank my wife, Judy Green, who is here tonight. She is my own renewable energy resource, for supporting and encouraging me in pursuing my great passion. Finally, I thank you again for the lustre and honour of this award. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Martin Green, and congratulations once again. Solar energy is the future. Science is a rare art which requires enthusiasm, dedication, persistence, and creativity, among other features. These qualities are, of course, shared also by artists in different fields of expertise. It's an honor now to introduce to you three wonderful, exceptional artists who will take us to the field of music and our northern cultural heritage. Please welcome the Sami folk music group, Angelit.
Namani hereen markan kantaa, kun mullen stuoris, mullen kouta mullen rikkis, mullen komani hereen lottainalte, viidaloji erimelte, vasta shisi lohterike, muhto muunies, Viidaloji kruunui melde vastalatan. Juhtsa maras, juhtsa mietti, juhtsa töttar jäävre kättiin. Tuhahtille, läjä lokka, leija laila, leija laila. Huhta laila, hei, ja laila, ko leija laila, leija laila.
Greetings from Lapland. There is not snow yet, but we hope that it comes soon because we wait our reindeers come back from the mountain. So now we take our, how I say, imagine. It's our like a really emotion, yoik fire, and that fire is in your heart and also in the fireplace, in candle, but it's life power. Fire.
Thank you, Angelit. Such beautiful sounds from the northern Finland. But now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sad to say that our award ceremony has reached its final moments. Before we finish, it's my pleasure to announce that the call for nominations for the 2024 Millennium Technology Prize will begin on the 1st of April 2023. Please visit the Millennium Prize website for nomination guidelines and other information. And good luck.